Hi students, in this tutorial I want to talk about encapsulation in programming. So first let me give you actually some definitions about encapsulation in programming. So we have actually two definitions. Let me give you the first one. So a language mechanism for restricting direct access to some of the object's components. So let me repeat again, a language mechanism for restricting direct access to some of the object's components. So look at this picture here, look at this phone picture. As you can see, look at this red circle here on the picture. As you can see, the off button here, right? And it says when the user actually presses on the off button, actually it's gonna actually execute some complex codes. And we don't want to allow the user to know about those infrastructure, those complex infrastructure. And we just want the user know that when he or she presses the off button, something is going to happen, right? And that's as simple as that. That is called encapsulation. That is a language mechanism for restricting direct access to some of the object's components. I don't want to allow the user to actually have access to this object's components, right? Look at these components here. For example, when the off button is pressed, some complex codes are actually executed. This is a very actually complex, and the user doesn't need to know about that, right? So now let me give you the second definition. A language construct that facilitates the bundling of data with the methods. So, and let me tell you that, for example, you have a method inside your class. I'll talk more about that later, but for now, this is actually just a theory. You have a method inside your class, and inside that method, you have some complex codes, right? Some complex task that you want to actually execute when that method is called. That is again called encapsulation in programming. So this is just a theory. Don't worry about that. I'll talk more about this later in the course. But for now, you may actually want to actually be introduced to this concept. And this is how you actually think about encapsulation. And that is as simple as that. You don't want to allow the user to know about the inner, the inner task, the inner infrastructure of your, for example, button or of your user interface component, right? So if you have any questions about this concept, please post the discussion in the course, and then I'll do my best to answer all of your questions. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.